If you wanna find me, yeah, I'm in the front row. Got my 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. It's the best place to be, I'm in the front row. Best place to be, yeah. If you wanna find me, yo, I'm in the front row. Got my 2 tickets on me, I'm in the front row. The best place to be, I'm in the front row. Best place to be, yeah. So what's colder than ice and even hotter than a flame? I be in the front row, chilling at a ball game. Yeah, you know what they say, when you're having fun, time flies. Catch me courtside, chilling with the inside.
This is Shireen Ryan within the front row, where you get the best views in sports, and we have a very special guest today. And hopefully I don't trip up, because my co-host Asante Smith is here with me. Say hi,
Yes.
Asante.
What's good, you guys? Yes, sir.
And our guest name is Ashton Smith. So
Hello to you.
and we just want to find out what's next for Ashton. She's a multiple gold-winning swimmer in the Special Olympics. She lives in Texas, and she's a motivational speaker. And so we just want to welcome Ashton to our show. And we're all about empowering people and giving them a platform.
Yes. I'm glad to be here. I really am. I'm glad to talk about my career and the next steps that I will take. My name is, Ashton Smith, and I have goals in my life to make something of myself, to, make a living, meaning have a career that is long lasting. And I think I will be able to do just that with these people and others in my life, to help me thrust forward and know that anything is possible when putting together the second leg of my career. I'm so excited to be here.
So we want to find out, not every detail, but give us a
Some
gloss
details.
over on all the, what made you who you are today? What have you been through? And you're a survivor, I know you are. So what have you been through? Tell us a little bit about your background, your story, and what you've survived to this point. And then I want to talk more about what your career you want to launch right now.
Yeah, like I said, my name is, Ashton Smith. What I have went through is, having a disability, visually impaired, blind in one eye. So I'm trying to do this as detailed as possible as far as my disability. Growing up, I also had something called low cognitive functions. And I'm working with a gentleman who specifically said to do this as if I was speaking. And I do this in great detail. My disability, I was born with my disability, blind in one eye, and knowing that I've had to overcome that. Other things that I have also been through, I have had to overcome poverty. I've had to do that, and overcoming
lost
that.
your grandmother, right? And your mother?
Yeah, I lost my grandmother and my mother. And, for me, it's been difficult to lose my grandmother. I lost my grandmother in, I believe, 2010. And I lost my mom at the beginning of last year. I lost my mother, and that was tough. 2022 is when I lost my mother. And overcoming those things, that's tough. And I think for me, I know I will overcome those losses. I also lost my sister. I lost her as well. Shortly, around I lost her around about two. I lost her, I believe, last year. I lost my sister as well. And it's been really difficult last year and what have you, the last couple of years, because I've lost somebody in my life, and that's tough. And going through that, I know for me, it's something that will help me be a better person. Also, just knowing that doing this with detail and telling folks that these disabilities and the things that I've had to overcome, including, like I said, homelessness, um, I've had to go from place to place, things like that in my life, but those things make me a better person, and thank you to, my boyfriend, he's helped me overcome those things. I'm a woman and people need to know that. A gentleman told me to make that real and known, and that I have a man, I love him. And without that person, I probably wouldn't be here. And I'm grateful for that, because having a companion, having somebody that you can lean on, that's a big deal. Folks, if you have people in your life that can help you deal with issues that that are facing you, including racism and other things I've dealt with. I am in Texas, so I'm gonna keep that really specific. In this state, it is tough because I went through an organization called the Special Olympics, and there's some good in the Special Olympics, and there's also some not so good things. We'll call it constructive criticism, right, today. And the bad thing is that I did experience racism. You can Google Special Olympics Texas Confederate flag. That was someone else in the article, not me, but I just need the audience to be able to go Google that so they can see that I'm in a state that I've never been wanted. I've had to fight as a Black person just to do certain things. I was also kicked out of a church, Mercy Culture Church, and I was told from this lady to leave the church. I've never been back to Mercy Culture Church since. I deal with a lot of political strife in a state that I didn't pick to live here. I was, born here in Texas, and knowing those things, and knowing the plight of my life is all of Texas bad? No, but what I do know is that doing things for little to no money, that also cannot be the end to my life. It cannot be. And I am going to make something of myself, because the dude told me to make a change and say, make a living, right? Instead of saying getting paid, we're now telling society that I want to make a living. What does that mean? You are telling people that you want a career. A career is different from a job, right? So for me, I've had to distinguish that with great detail, being able to tell your audience that these are the things that will get me on that path, so that I no longer have to go through the strifes that I did. I've overcome a lot of medical issues as well. I couldn't speak well. I had a speech impediment, which most people don't know about. Most people in my life think I make excuses when I tell them that I can't write very well, or write out certain things.
Very well, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very well. Like, don't listen to them people at all. I'll tell you that right now.
Don't listen to the haters. You speak very clear. I understand everything you're saying. Like you don't even have a Texas accent. I have more of a Texas accent than you do.
Yeah, I cleaned that up real quick because I realized nobody wanted that on their stage. I think in my life is that for me, it has to change with more of a formal refining myself, right? I'll say that twice, formal refinement, which means that I have to be that way in order to get paid, right? And so for me, or to make a living, right? So for me, it works. And I am taking all of my talents. And there will be somebody out there that says, we would like a public speaker like yourself. You speak well, right? They're not out here trying to change me or tell me to do things that don't make sense. I had a lady that would tell me to do stuff, but it's like, that doesn't make sense. I have a gentleman in my life that is trying to help me, and I'm grateful for him, because he's trying to make a valiant effort to coach me, and I'm grateful that he is helping me. And I just pray that things come along, and it will, because you shouldn't have to suffer You shouldn't have to go without food to eat, clothes to wear, a roof over your head. I've suffered all of those things. And every one of those things have made me a better person. And I want people that listen to this broadcast to understand what I'm saying, because I was speaking to a dude about my story the other day, and he was like, he didn't understand what I was saying. So I'm going to make sure I'm real clear that people understand. Just because you live in a certain zip code does not mean that that should be the plight of your life. Where you live should not dictate the rest of your life. What I want in my life is opportunity, and someone that says, I'm going to book you. Right? There's a difference between someone coaching you and booking you. I've been speaking for 30 years. So do I need a coach? I could use a coach, but the biggest thing I need now is an opportunity. And so if there are people out there that are willing to book somebody like me, give me a call, right? Or hit me in the back channel. Those are ways that people can contact me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you'll look me up and you'll be able to contact me and understand you know that I'm going to deliver and I'm going to give you what you want, because my life is better than this. My grandmother raised me. She raised me well, and she's no longer with me either. And others, you know, my grandmother was a big integral part of my life and told me I could do anything I put my mind to, and that I speak well.
So
Yeah, and
there's
that's
a lot
all I
of
need.
haters out there. We just got to Asante, right? We just got to learn how to tune them out, right?
I don't worry about what people say. Everybody have their perspective, you know what I'm saying? What you dealing with is people having a perspective of you because of what God gave you, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what people say. Just keep continuing the mindset. The mindset that you have right now is beautiful, it's perfect, it's wonderful. You say they don't understand you, he's not trying to understand you. That was a person that was sitting in front of your face and playing with you. You know what I'm saying? You see the difference from people that's trying to understand you. It's nothing wrong.
I need
Great
people.
perspective, Asante.
God didn't bless me to do that. And I'm going to say that to anybody. God did not bless me to be able to write. I can't spell for worthless, you know, let's be real. Can't spell. You know, I'm not good at that. That's why I'm not in college. If I was great at arithmetics and, you know, computers, I would be in a college sitting behind a desk, right? That's not me. I'm a sports person. I'm a public speaker.
God gave you different gifts, Ashton.
God, there you go. God gave me different gifts. And I'm sorry, like I told one woman, I'm sorry that I don't speak the way you do. Sorry that I don't, you know, so.
You don't need to apologize. You speak honestly, you speak very well. There's not anything you've said I didn't understand, nothing.
And let me understand what
and you understand when I'm on stage, other people are going to understand just the way we're talking here. You two understand it, but there are people who act like they have no clue what I'm saying.
They can turn around. Go ahead,
They don't want to understand. They don't want to understand. Understand this. You speaking to people that don't want to understand. You just keep talking to the people that do. You know what I'm saying? You keep getting in front of
God will make a way in my life, in all seriousness, in a positive note. You know, being specific about my family and those types of things, being very specific about, you know, my vision and what that is. Now for me, it's time to swing the bat and know that to hit a home run. I want to know that this career of public speaking, that is going to pay. That is going to allow me to make a living. And making a living does not mean be a public speaker, but yet I'm still on food stamps. That's not making a living, guys. That's not making a living, right? Making a living means that you are independent of all government assistance. That's when you know that you are making a living and not a job. See the difference? A job will leave you on food stamps. Because I had 3 jobs. 3 jobs, and I worked 18-hour days. And I only could sleep for so many hours. Right? You can't do
so
that.
much in your mind. I don't know how you sleep at all, honestly.
18-hour days.
Can you imagine? Even with all your practice and your studies and a job, Asante, did you work 18-hour days?
No, 18-hour days. No, I was working 12-hour days and I was sick. Like,
Why do you
and that's
think? Why do you
You're a
think I hold?
superwoman. You're a superwoman.
Yeah, why do you think I hold my head, trying to keep my head up? Because I put my books in backpacks and walked around and tried to sell my book. That's what I did because I don't know enough about the internet. I don't.
give me look, check this out. You can give me some copies of your book, I'll promote it for you. This you
Yeah,
got a powerful story. You got a
yeah,
powerful story.
they're on this right there. There's the title above my head. You can look that up. And
Where
I
can we
wrote that for you. Tell
where
us a
can
little
we
bit
buy
about
it? Yeah, where can we buy
you
this
can
book?
buy this
Talk
book,
to
Swimming Upstream to Realize a Dream, online on Walmart and online on Amazon. And you can get the book or the, you
an
know what I mean?
ebook. An
An
ebook.
ebook. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. I have an ebook. I don't know. I mean,
So
a lot of people here.
when you're in water swimming, do you feel like the whole world gets tuned out? Or is your mind still going a million miles an hour while you're swimming? I got
Um,
to know.
Ooh, that's a wonderful question.
it's tuned out, and that's why I go to a pool because I physically can't hear nothing. You can't hear nothing under the water really. So that's good. And I know in my life that I've tried to tune out a lot of stuff, but I've been in Toastmasters. I've done all these things. I really have. And I've done all this stuff. What I need in my life is opportunities. I don't need somebody coaching me. I need an opportunity. I have 30 years of public speaking experience. There's no reason why I can't take what I have and go speak somewhere.
Yeah.
What? Because I thought you played sports. What is it that you do for real? Are you a booking agent? Do you know people who do that?
No. Me. I want to be an agent. I want to be a manager. I want to do those things. I have athletes that I do manage, but those things is off of personal relationship. Those things I do off of money. These people just trust me with these things because off of what they see me do. Like it's a D1 athlete named Tyler Guyman right now. Shout my boy out. Look, I'm
Yeah.
managing. Look, forgive them. Look, understand this. I understand. I've been in your face right now. I was literally in your face 6 months ago. So I feel like this is why God put you in front of me. Understand what you feeling right now is you've been taken advantage of and you putting in all that work and you don't feel like people have value or gave you your roses for that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't put all this work. You've been on all these places. You know what I'm saying? You see people going these same places and they life changing. And you look at it, you be like, oh man, like what do I have to show for it? It's just because the people that you had around you didn't do the things necessary for you. You have been taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
So
fact.
the only thing you can do right now is forgive, but don't forget. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The only thing you can do is forgive, but don't forget. Well, I
Yeah,
say
and
forgive.
I
Preaching
forgive people.
today, Asante. You are preaching
Yeah.
today.
Because
And
like
yeah, and you're not even allowed to have an LLC in the Special Olympics. I didn't get my LLC until I got out of there because you're not allowed to have businesses,
yeah,
corporations. You're not
you're
allowed to
not
be
allowed to have
owned.
ownership. They don't want you. It's life. You know what I'm saying?
They,
But what you dealing with is what a lot of people deal with. You know what I'm saying?
it's
They
called
just taking advantage.
institutionalized. I was
Exactly.
institutionalized, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's the thing that people do not understand. I was told
Mm-hmm.
what to do, when to do it, how to say it, and I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
even allowed to have a driver's license. You know,
That's crazy.
you're not allowed to do anything because the Special Olympics wants you to act, I don't know, disabled so that they can get money. They get all these sponsorships from the NFL and all of that and NBA while we sit here in poverty. I said, guys, this is the Bernie Madoff of disabled people. Special Olympics is constructed like the Bernie Madoff of disabled people. That's exactly how it's constructed because I studied the program. I didn't just play, I studied. And you're not allowed to make money in any capacity through sponsorships, public donations, public or private means, religious means. You're not allowed to make money. You're only allowed to work at grocery stores or meager jobs. I don't want to work at meager jobs. I want to own a business.
I
Not
think
allowed.
Ashton's an activist, don't you? Not only a
Yeah.
public speaker, but an activist.
Activist. She changing. You the change. You know what I'm saying? So when
Yeah,
you're
you
the
got to put
change,
activist in your profile.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why, because I can sit down and talk to. See, I try to work with Autism Speaks. I tried to write a letter to that organization. I never heard back. Why? Because I don't know how to write formal letters. You don't hear back from organizations like that because they don't.
You need connections, Ashton. It's all
That's
connections.
it. It's all connections. And these organizations need to know that the Special Olympics exploits these people. And they tell us that our lives are not of value. We're treated like cargo. I've had concussions, injuries. I've dealt with being assaulted, hit, slapped, punched in the Special Olympics. I've dealt with physical abuse that
You're a
Yeah, I need to know
60-minute
more about this
segment.
story.
Asante, she's a 60-minute segment.
Man,
That-
what
I am
fly to
shocked that
Texas
your
to talk more
manager is
about
not
this
putting
story.
you on 60 minutes.
Well, I just signed an agreement with her not too long ago. So we're working on all that. I don't know how to get on 60 Minutes. I've tried to contact news stations, radio programs, phone calls. I've made over 6,000 phone calls in the last 2 years.
Yeah, you need some
And
agents.
it's working, and it's finally working. That's why it takes time. It's like it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. People don't know that, but it takes 10 years to be overnight success. Like I've been doing social media content creating for the last 5 years, and until COVID happened, people didn't take it serious because they was at home all day and they had to watch my videos. And now people are like, oh yeah, T-Mac, bro, I see you doing your videos and stuff like that, and I'm like, bro, I've been doing this for a while, bro. I don't know what y'all talking about. Like,
Well, suffering. I told him, what do you want me to do? Suffer in silence and post nothing. But then you don't hear from me because I'm 6 foot under the ground. You can't hold this
yeah,
stuff.
you're right, and you're absolutely right about that.
And I use social media as an outlet because I held all this stuff in and didn't post, didn't do nothing. And I literally had a nervous breakdown because I was afraid. I wasn't even allowed to use the internet in the Special Olympics. You're not allowed. When I was in their organization, I have a text from a coach. I'm serious. That told me to not use the internet to get off of it. I have that text. My life was controlled as if I was in Germanburg prison or something. That's how my life was controlled. And I finally, for the first time in 2019, when the pandemic happened in 2020, that was my way out. And I asked somebody with the federal government, am I allowed to speak? And the federal government had to tell me that you have the right to free speech. You're not even allowed to learn laws, rules, and regulations in the Special Olympics. I had to sneak down to the law library so I could learn laws and the Constitution and my rights, because they don't teach you that. They don't want you to know that there's a Constitution. They don't want you to know that. They don't.
Crazy.
I just know that things in my life, working with the right people like you too, God puts people in my life, because my social media, you can't sell nothing when you're at the bottom of social media. I posted my book on social media almost every day and nobody would buy it. So it was stressful, and I had to get off of social media and go into the real world. I actually sold a lot more of my books by walking on foot than I did on social media. I'm like, wow, okay, but walking is very time consuming to get on a bus and go to festivals and walk around trying to sell your book. Like,
thank you for coming on with us, and
yes,
Asante. And can't wait to see what's next. Can't
yes,
wait
I'm
to
gonna
see
get
you.
we're gonna
You
get you on
see
my
me-
show too.
okay,
Yeah, go on his show too.
then there you go. He has the show as well. So let's do that. Boom, bang, look at God. Foul, 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 foul. So